I'm Nando Rodriguez, your breakthrough coach, and today it's all about how imposter syndrome is actually helping you, because if you didn't know, now you do. If you haven't already seen it, go watch the video on what is imposter syndrome so you can be caught up. It's the video I did right before this one. And since posting it, I've started conducting my own research on imposter syndrome in women entrepreneurs. And if you want to be included in the research, the link to my survey is posted in the description in this video. But the info I'm collecting echoes the exact same results Dr. Clance and Dr. Imes concluded in their 1978 research, where they coined the term imposter phenomenon, aka imposter syndrome. In 2020, women are still feeling the paralyzing effects of anxiety, depression, and lack of confidence. And it's because the women I'm surveying are all entrepreneurs. The impact of that is, well, actually, I'll let them tell you in their own words. This is what they have to say. I don't feel good enough to have a successful business. I don't feel worthy of getting clients. I don't feel good enough to have a website. I feel like a fraud, so my prices are low, very low. Now, do any of those sound familiar? If it does, hit the thumbs up button so we know you're not alone. Whether you're a man or a woman, when you're first starting out in business, your own business, you're gonna experience moments of doubt, fear, anxiety. It's the norm. And anyone who tells you different probably isn't being vulnerable with you because they don't want to be seen as a fraud, which is another trait of imposter syndrome. Remember, 70% of us have experienced imposter syndrome at least once in our lifetime when it comes to our career. But imposter syndrome can have some redeeming qualities, as I'm discovering in the research, so I want to share it with you today in this video because it ain't all bad. Disclaimer, so many of you have said you hate the term imposter syndrome, and I get it. It's like an immediate slap in the face. You're like, I can deal with the syndrome, but the imposter part, it's like, who wants to own up to that? And here's what I like to offer you. Let it go. It is what it is. And here's the reframe. It may be something you've experienced, but it's not who you are. And that's the difference. And it will make you less resistant to hear more about it and do something about it than just sitting there watching this video on the couch eating potato chips saying, nope, that's not me. I'm not an imposter. And listen, it goes with anything. Imagine joining a club for losers. Excuse me, you're not a loser. You may have made some choices that made you feel like one, but you're not one. So imposter syndrome, breathe. As we step into this next conversation, I request you drop all the baggage and step into it fully and excited as I say, imposter syndrome can have some benefits. Now, a classic trait of imposter syndrome is feeling like a fraud. And I guarantee you, you are not a fraud. And this is tied to another trait, which is lack of confidence. So the reason you may feel like a fraud is because there's low confidence there in whatever skill or whatever it is you're up to. So the imposter syndrome experience, it's all interconnected. What has you experience one thing leads to another. So that low confidence has you feeling like a fraud, which then creates anxiety, and it just goes on and on. It's like the perfect storm. Now remember, I mentioned the reframe. You take the what so and you give it another look. You give it a twist. What if the feeling like a fraud can be a good thing? Now, if I know you, if you're here watching this, you're brilliant, you're smart, you're an entrepreneur who's on top of things. You're probably going the extra mile on projects, with clients, presentations, all that. Now, before we go on any further, I have to ask you, is that the type of entrepreneur you are? Always going the extra mile? Let me know in the comments so I know who's in the tribe, okay? But for many of you, imposter syndrome has you double checking your work, looking for errors because in your mind, you're not good enough, or they'll discover you're a fraud if this presentation doesn't cite all 5,000 sources, or you feel like you have to give away extra things because you're not worthy of the price your client is currently paying. Just stop. Here's the reframe. So I'm double checking because I'm a fraud and I'm not good enough now becomes I'm double checking because I'm a kick-ass business owner who provides quality work. Bam, done, stop. Listen, do you know that out in the world, there are so many entrepreneurs who are not doing that? They're not double checking. They're not invested in double checking or truly diving deep into the research. Here's the check-in. If your double checking is inside of, I'm someone who provides quality work, you're good. And a double check, a scan, perfect, great, you're fine. But if your double checking is inside of, I'm a fraud, it's not good enough, then take a step back and walk away. See, the reframe has you own your skills and it leaves you empowered. The imposter syndrome leaves you disempowered and paralyzed inside of, I'm not good enough, which can then turn ugly. You start to doubt yourself, you replay all the times you failed. That way of being never moves you forward and it keeps you stuck. So let's take a moment here. I want to ask you, what's opening up for you? What are you discovering? Leave it in the comments. I want to know how things are landing for you. Okay, take a deep breath to go soak all of this in and go back and rewatch the reframe part over and over again until it sinks in. Imposter syndrome can have benefits if you reframe, and it leads me to today's nandoism. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Hey, if this video made a difference for you and you discovered or learned something new about yourself, share it and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so you know when the next one comes out. I want to offer you one solution if you're experiencing the anxiety that comes with imposter syndrome, my Supercharger course. It's an online course created to help you supercharge your life. In 45 minutes after watching the 3 solutions, there's actually 4 because I threw in some bonus ones in there for you, you will quickly shift your mood to one that will keep you motivated, help you achieve your goals, and be empowered. So go become a supercharger in your life. The link is in the description, or visit my website, nandoism.com. Guys, I'm Nando, your breakthrough coach, and remember, I'm here to make your life sexier.